My sister says I ruined Christmas because I brought the ghost dog with me. Post number 1, December 26th. So I guess this is my official I ruined Christmas confession. My sister told me I wasn't allowed back in her house until I figure out what's haunting me, which is not a sentence I ever thought I'd hear, much less deserve. To be clear, I wasn't trying to bring the ghost of a puppy into her home. I didn't even know I had one. But apparently I do now. Let me explain before you think I've completely lost my mind. I, 28F, drove up to my older sister's, 34F, place for Christmas this year. Big family thing. She's got the suburban dream house, 5 bedrooms, a fireplace, one of those granite kitchen islands that's somehow bigger than my entire apartment. We were all supposed to stay under one roof. Me, my sister and her husband, their 2 kids, my parents, and our little brother Josh, 22M, eternal college student. It started normal. Wine, pajamas, matching socks, the whole curated Instagram vibe. Except, stuff started going weird within hours of me arriving. The first weird thing? Their dog, Cooper, a 10-year-old golden retriever who literally loves everyone, refused to come near me. Like tail between his legs, full body shivering, hiding behind the couch, refused. We thought maybe he didn't recognize me with my new coat, long black wool, very dramatic. I took it off. Still freaked, he wouldn't even eat if I was in the room. Second weird thing? My niece 4 kept telling people the dog is back, which would be cute. Except they've never had another dog. Third, I kept waking up at 3:17 a.m., exactly, every night, to the sound of something panting right next to my bed. I thought it was Cooper the first night and tried to pet him. My hand went through nothing, like cold air. But there were little damp paw prints on the hardwood floor when I turned on the light. I told myself I was dreaming, sleep paralysis, wine-induced hallucination, whatever. By Christmas Eve, everyone was on edge. My sister's husband said the guest room smelled like wet fur. My brother swore he heard a bark inside the walls. My mom kept spraying Febreze and whispering Hail Marys under her breath. My sister finally cornered me in the kitchen while we were sneaking bites of stuffing and just snapped. She said ever since I got there something was off, and maybe this is about that dog you hit last year. Okay, pause. Last December, I did accidentally hit a stray puppy on my street. It darted out from behind a snowbank and I couldn't stop in time. I sobbed for days. I even left a little memorial and reported it to animal control. It's haunted me, emotionally. I felt awful about it ever since, but not literally haunted. Or so I thought. Apparently my niece had told my sister, "A little dog follows Auntie around. He's sad, he's looking for home." So yeah, my sister asked me to leave. On Christmas Eve, because she said her house wasn't spiritually equipped to handle me and my ghost baggage. I'm back at my apartment now, alone, and yeah. I've still been waking up at 3:17 a.m., but it single quotes S. Different last night. I swear I felt something lick my ankle. So, yeah. I might be haunted by a puppy, and I might have ruined Christmas. I just needed to get this off my chest. Post number 2, December 30th. Okay, so update. I think the ghost dog likes peanut butter. I didn't want to post again, but I've had, let's call it developments. And since I've apparently become the reluctant human companion to a spectral beagle or whatever, you guys are my support group now. After I posted, I did all the things normal people do when they start to believe they're being haunted. 1. Googled ghost dog psychology. 2. Bought a sage bundle from a guy named Jasper on Etsy. 3. Told my therapist. She thinks I'm projecting guilt and suggested journaling. Cool. Anyway, I've been trying to just live my life. I went back to work. I've been sleeping with a salt circle around my bed like a total lunatic. And I've stopped leaving peanut butter out on the counter. Because it keeps disappearing. I live alone. My door's locked. My windows are locked. There is no one in here but me. And apparently one ghost dog with a creamy Jif addiction. Last night I left a spoonful of PB on a plate, just to see. I even dusted it lightly with flour so I could check for paw prints. And y'all, little smudged prints. 4 toes, tiny, just in the flour, leading to the plate. None leading away. But here's the wild part. I'm not scared. Not really. I should be, but this ghost puppy, he's kind of chill, Sad, maybe. But not scary, like he's just vibing. Like he doesn't want to leave, but also doesn't want to hurt anyone, like he's waiting. This morning I found my slipper moved to the center of the hallway, not chewed, just sitting there. Like a little ghost dog brought it, hoping we could play fetch. I cried. Anyway, my sister texted. Apparently their dog Cooper is back to normal now that I'm gone. Niece isn't talking about the dog who follows Auntie anymore. My sister still won't apologize, though. She said, "You brought supernatural chaos into my home." That's not something I can just forgive. So that's where we're at. Also, side note, thank you to the person who DM'd me the name of a pet psychic. I haven't contacted her yet, but if this keeps up, I might. Ghost Puppy, if you're reading this through Spectral Dog Internet, I'm sorry. You didn't deserve what happened. And I hope peanut butter helps. I'll update again if anything new happens. Or if I wake up to find dog hair spelling fetch on my mirror. Post number 3, January 6th. So, I talked to the pet psychic. I can't believe I just typed that sentence. But here we are. First off, thank you to everyone who's been following this. I seriously didn't expect Ghost Dog Christmas to turn into my entire January vibe, but life's weird like that, I guess. I also didn't expect to bond with a dead puppy, but hey, we've all had a weird couple years. So, yeah, I caved and called the pet psychic. Her name's Carol. She lives 2 towns over and does energy communication sessions over Zoom. Her website had a picture of her with a chinchilla in a tiny bow tie, so obviously I booked her. I sent her nothing about my situation beforehand. No details. Just the appointment. She logs on, looks at me for about 2 seconds and goes,
"He's very small, brown and white, beagle mix."
He says he didn't mean to scare you. I almost threw my laptop. She went on to describe, in detail, the exact way he died. She said he was confused, then cold, and then he wasn't in pain anymore. That he remembers me crying. That he's been following me ever since because he doesn't know where else to go, but I felt safe. And then she said, he thinks you're his person. I started sobbing, like ugly, snot-dripping sobbing. Because this little ghost dog I didn't even know had somehow decided I was his person. And now he's just been ... waiting. For what? I don't know. Closure? Reincarnation? Ghost dog adoption papers? Carol told me he doesn't want to leave, but he's tired. That he's waiting for me to acknowledge him fully. And that once I do, he might be able to rest. So I did something completely ridiculous. I held a funeral. A ghost dog funeral. In my living room. I bought a candle. I printed a photo of a beagle puppy from Google Images and gave him a name, Milo. It felt right. I sat on the floor, lit the candle, and told him everything. That I was sorry, that I wished I'd driven slower, that I would have stopped time to save him if I could, that I loved him, even if I never got to know him alive. I swear, I felt a weight lift off the room, like a pressure just ... released. That night I slept straight through, no panting, no paw prints, no peanut butter vanishing. The next morning the slipper was gone. Not moved, just gone. I looked everywhere, every room, every closet, even the freezer, nothing. I think Milo's gone. And I think he took the slipper as a souvenir. I don't know what any of this means. I don't know if I'm officially insane now. But for the first time in weeks, my apartment feels still. And for what it's worth, I kinda miss him. Post number 4, January 10th. I thought it was over. I genuinely did. After the funeral and the slipper disappearing, everything went quiet, peaceful. No more 3:17 a.m. wake-ups. No more peanut butter incidents. I even stopped checking the flower for paw prints like a lunatic. I was sleeping, I was working, I was ... done. And then 3 nights ago, something changed. It started subtle. My phone alarm wouldn't go off, even though it was clearly set. The screen would be on, open to the clock app, but no sound. Just silence. Then the lights in my hallway started flickering. Not just flickering, pulsing, like a heartbeat. And only when I walked through. Never when I tested it. I even filmed it once. Playback? Totally normal. But last night was different. I woke up at, you guessed it, 3:17 a.m., but not to panting. To growling. Low, deep, not a puppy growl. My bedroom was freezing. I sat up, turned on the light, and there, on the end of my bed, was my other slipper, the one Milo didn't take. It was soaking wet. I hadn't used it. I hadn't worn it. It had been sitting in my closet, bone dry, untouched. Now it was dripping. And not just with water, with this dark, sticky mud that smelled like something rotten. That's when I noticed the scratches. On the hardwood floor near the edge of my bed, long, deep claw marks. 4 of them, much bigger than before, not tiny puppy prints. Something dolls. And look, I get it. Ghost logic doesn't follow normal rules. But I felt something watching me last night. And it wasn't Milo, this presence. It's heavy, angry. It's like the sweetness Milo brought is gone, and something darker filled the space he left behind. I don't know how ghosts work. I don't know if I accidentally opened some kind of spiritual Airbnb in my apartment. But something followed Milo. Or maybe it was always there, hiding, and now that he's gone, it's free. I'm scared. I've booked a motel for tonight, just to clear my head. But when I left this morning, I swear, I heard something bark from inside my locked apartment. And it didn't sound friendly. Post number 5, January 13th. Okay, so I just got back from a weird conversation with my downstairs neighbor, and I don't even know how to process it yet. Short version. Apparently, this isn't the first time there's been something wrong with my apartment. Let me back up. After the wet slipper claw mark incident, I dipped. Motel 6 super sketchy, but it beat waking up to invisible growling and spectral muck. I needed space. I needed answers. So I did what any unstable millennial with insomnia would do. I started digging. First, I called my landlord. Asked if anything weird had happened in my unit before I moved in. He laughed and said, "Not unless you count the crazy cat lady who left behind 22 litter boxes. So, no help there." Then I talked to my neighbor, Miss Chung, sweet older woman, 2nd floor, always gives me weird herbal tea when I'm sick. When I mentioned the weird noises and scratches, her whole face changed. She said, that unit has always been strange. The animals don't like it. I asked what she meant. She told me her cat refuses to even look at my door when they pass by. Like actually cranes its neck away. She said the previous tenant before me, not the cat lady but the guy before her, only lasted 6 months. When I asked why, she leaned in and whispered, his dog died in there. In the kitchen, and he said after that he couldn't sleep. Said something else came in after, bigger than a dog, he said it howled. I sat there, mouth open, just ... Because remember how I said I hit that stray puppy last year? It wasn't in my neighborhood. It was 2 towns over, near my sister's place. I've never hit a dog near home. So if Milo didn't die in my apartment, how the hell did his ghost get in? Unless he wasn't the first. Unless something else was already there. Miss Chong told me the guy broke his lease early and moved out in the middle of the night. No explanation. Just gone. Now here's the part that's messing me up. She said the night he left, she heard 2 things. 1, a dog yelping. 2, a door slamming, but no footsteps. She thinks something lives in the walls. Something that mimics pets. Something that waits. I don't know what to do. I've saged, salted, sprinkled holy water from a TikTok shop, and now I'm sleeping on my friend's couch. But I can still hear it sometimes, the growl. Through my phone speaker when I play voice notes. A faint scratch behind the motel mirror. Whatever Milo was, he felt gentle, protective even. But this thing feels ancient and pissed. Post number 6, January 15th. Oh, I went back. I know. Everyone told me not to. The comments, the DMIS, even Carol, the pet psychic, left me a voicemail like, "Sweetie, don't poke the bear." But it's still my place, my stuff, my lease. And part of me felt like I couldn't move on, literally or emotionally, until I saw it again. I planned it out. Broad daylight. Brought sage, holy water, an industrial flashlight, and my friend Donnie, who Loki lives for this kind of horror movie energy. We joked about it at first. Called ourselves the Ghostbusters. She even brought salt rounds she found on a supernatural fan site. We were cocky. That lasted 10 minutes. We walked in, and the smell hit us first. Not rot, not mildew, just wet fur, thick and stale. Like something had been pacing the apartment for days, waiting. Every mirror in the place was fogged over. It hadn't been humid. The windows were open. It didn't make sense. And then we saw the words, scratched into the wall above my couch, like claw marks dragged through paint and drywall. S-T-A-Y. S-D-A-Y. 3 times. Same word. Same jagged slashes. Donnie turned to me and said, "Are you sure it was a puppy?" I didn't answer. We moved toward the kitchen. That's where Milo had always made his presence felt. That's where the psychic said he'd lingered, and that's where I saw it. On the counter, just sitting there like it had been waiting, my other slipper. The one Milo took. Only it wasn't clean. It was soaked again. Same dark muck. But this time, there were teeth marks. Big ones. Way too big for a beagle. And next to it, I swear on everything, was a chewed-up peanut butter spoon. That's when we heard it. From the hallway, not a bark. A voice. It sounded like a child whispering, "Come see the dog."
He's hungry. We ran.
Full-on sprinted out of the building. Didn't stop until we were back in Danny's car. I left the lights on. The door unlocked. I don't care. I haven't been back since. I don't think Milo's there anymore. I think he tried to keep me safe. I think he stayed as long as he could. But whatever's in that apartment now, it's not a ghost. It's something else. Something that pretends to be small, to be friendly. And I think it's looking for a new person. Post number 7, January 18th. So I think it followed me. I've been staying at Donnie's place. Top floor condo, all clean lines and white walls and zero haunted history. No weird noises, no fogged mirrors, no peanut butter. We even did a cleansing with YouTube chants and a smudge stick labeled extra strong banishing blend. I felt safe for like 2 days. Then the paw prints came back, but this time they weren't muddy. They were black, ashy, burnt looking. One print. At the foot of my borrowed bed. The next night, 2 prints, closer to the pillow. And then last night, they were on the ceiling. I didn't sleep. Danny didn't either. We stayed up, lights on, watching TikToks on mute, and trying to pretend the shadows in the corner weren't moving. At 3:17 a.m., always 3:17, her dog, very alive, very much a 90 lb German Shepherd, sat bolt upright, stared at the wall, and started growling. Low, primal. Hackles raised, eyes locked on ... nothing. Except there was something. Because the drywall cracked. Just a hairline fracture. But we both heard it, this sharp little snap like pressure pushing outward. From the inside. Donnie finally broke. She made me promise to leave today. She didn't say it to be mean. She looked terrified. Like whatever this is, it's bleeding into her space now. Her home. Her life. I agreed. I packed my things. I said goodbye to her dog. And then I found the note. Folded inside my duffel bag, tucked in between socks I hadn't unpacked, was a torn scrap of lined paper. One word written in shaky red ink. Hungry. I haven't told Donnie yet. I don't know how it got in my bag. I don't know what wrote it. I don't know if it's trying to scare me, warn me, or ... die. But I do know one thing. I don't think Milo was trying to protect me. I think he was trying to keep this thing occupied. And now that he's gone, it's starting to look for something else to chew on. Post number 8, January 22nd. I went back to the apartment, I know, again, but this time I wasn't going to run. I couldn't, not after the note, not after Danny's wall cracked. Not after the thing started learning how to leave me gifts. It wasn't just a haunting anymore. It felt like a game. And I finally understood the rules. It wants me to come back. So I did. Middle of the day, bright, cold, clear. I took the stairs. No music, no podcast, no distractions. Just my breath and the weight of knowing I was walking into something that had already chewed through 2 lives, Milo's and mine. The hallway outside my apartment was silent, not quiet, dead silent. Even the fluorescent lights had stopped buzzing. I opened the door. The smell hit first. Same as before, but worse. Like wet dog and iron, like something had been rotting and shaking itself dry for days. Inside the apartment was empty, no paw prints, no writing. No howling. Just stillness. Until I stepped into the kitchen. That's when I heard it. A soft rhythmic thud, like a tail wagging against the wall. I turned the corner and saw it, not a full form, just a shape. In the darkest corner, crouched where the fridge meets the drywall, low to the ground, wrong proportions. It was twitching. Breathing, watching, I called out. I said, "Milo?" And the thing moved, fast, too fast. It zipped across the room and stopped just before the light touched it. I still couldn't see its face. Just the shape, hunched, bigger than a dog, smaller than a man. Long limbs, back arched. Then it spoke, not words, not a bark. But this wet, gurgling mimic of a whimper. Like it was trying to sound like a puppy, but had never actually heard one before. It made that noise again, and then scratched at the floor. That's when I saw it, the slipper, still damp, sitting in the middle of the room. I don't know why. Maybe I snapped. Maybe I was testing fate, but I whispered, "Go fetch." It charged. I slammed the door. I ran so hard I nearly broke my ankle on the stairs. By the time I got outside, I was shaking, crying, not from fear, from grief. Because that wasn't Milo. Milo is gone. And whatever's in that apartment? It's using his memory like bait. It's not a ghost. It's a predator. And I think it's still hungry. Post number 9, January 25th. I haven't gone back. I probably never will. After that last post, I broke my lease, paid the fee, signed the papers, left everything behind, couch, dishes, my damn grandmother's quilt. I couldn't take any of it. I didn't want it to come with me. I moved 2 cities over. Got a sublet through a friend of a friend. New place. New locks, no pets. For the first few nights, I didn't sleep. Every creak made my skin crawl. Every gust of wind felt like breath on my neck. I kept thinking I'd wake up at 3:17 again, but I didn't. Not once. No paw prints. No wet fur smell. No whispering. Just silence. And that should have been the end of it. Except, 2 days ago I got a package. No return address, no stamps. Just a plain cardboard box taped shut, sitting on my doorstep when I got home from work. Inside was a jar of peanut butter, 1 slipper, and a photo. The photo was grainy, like from an old flip phone. In it, I'm sitting on the floor of my old apartment from weeks ago, crying, holding the candle during Milo's funeral. But here's the thing. I was alone that day. I locked the door. So who took the picture? I showed it to Danny. She thinks someone's messing with me. Maybe the landlord? Maybe a sick prank from someone who read these posts. But I looked closer. I zoomed in. In the corner of the photo, just behind me in the kitchen shadows, is a shape. Low to the ground, hunched, watching. Same shape, same blur. Same not quite dog. I think it followed me once. I think it wants to follow me again, but I also think it's waiting, not for food. Not for fear, for me to forget, for me to slip, to stop watching. Because the worst part? When I looked at that photo, when I really stared at it, I wasn't afraid. I missed him. Not the thing. Not the monster, but Milo. That little ghost who stayed as long as he could. Who kept it at bay. Who warned me. And I keep wondering, what if he didn't move on? What if he was taken? Post number 10, April 3rd. It's been a while. I wasn't going to post again. Honestly, I didn't think I had anything left to say. Life has been normal. Really normal, actually. I've been in the new place for almost 3 months. Nothing weird. No scratches. No late night noises. No peanut butter incidents. I sleep through the night. I adopted a real dog. His name's Theo. He's a mutt with floppy ears and a bark like a lawnmower. And he loves literally everyone, including me. He doesn't growl at corners. He doesn't whine at 3:17. He sleeps at the foot of my bed, warm and steady, and for the first time in a long time, I feel safe. Or at least I did, until last night. I was brushing my teeth, getting ready for bed when I noticed Theo sitting in the hallway, perfectly still, staring at the front door. I called him. He didn't move. I walked over and crouched beside him, and that's when I heard it. A soft, rhythmic thud. Like a tail wagging against the door. Theo started to whine.
He leaned into me, not scared, not angry, just tense, waiting. I looked through the peephole.
No one, but there was something on the doormat. I opened the door, slow, and there it was, A single object. My other slipper. The one I never took with me. The one that was left behind in the apartment. The clean one. And tucked inside it was a note. Torn paper. Same shaky red ink. It just said, "Good boy. Thanks for listening. I hope that's the end. But I keep both slippers by the door now, just in case he ever comes home." Bonus update. July 1st. Okay, so apparently this story blew up? I've been off Reddit for a bit, just living, working, walking Theo, trying not to think about ghosts or demon dogs or cursed footwear. But then I started getting random DMs like, "Are you the ghost puppy girl? I saw a TikTok about your slipper haunting. Did Milo ever come back?" And look, I didn't expect this thread to go viral. I was just trauma dumping to strangers in the void. I never thought people would start drawing fan art of Milo, adorable BTW, or making analysis videos like, "Theory, was Milo ever real? Or was he bait created by the entity to lure in empaths?" Wild. Also, y'all are way too good at digging. Someone found my old apartment on Zillow. Yes, they really listed it. The description says, "Recently renovated, pet-friendly, unique layout. Full of character." Which is code for we exorcised it but can't legally say so. But okay, here's what you really want to know. No, I haven't heard from Milo again. And yes, weird things still happen. Not every day, not scary, just off. Theo sometimes stares at the door for no reason. Once a week, the TV turns on at 3:17 a.m., and last Tuesday, I found my peanut butter jar in the freezer. Still sealed, still full, just ... But here's the thing, it doesn't feel malicious anymore, not like before. It almost feels like someone, or something, is checking in. And maybe that's crazy, maybe I've been alone too long. Maybe the internet melted my brain. But I keep the slippers by the door, and I keep a spoon in the drawer, just in case. Because once in a while, I still hear it. A soft thump at the front step, like a little tail. Wagging. Edit. Oh my god, I woke up, and this is trending on Facebook now. Someone made Milo merch? I'm crying. You guys are the best. Please hug your pets extra tight tonight. You never know who's watching. If you like these stories and videos, make sure to like, comment, and share so we can make some money from ad revenue and continue getting better and better with our publications. We strive to donate a portion of everything we make to charities that make a difference. Let us know if there is someone or a thing you want to support. Thank you for staying until the end and enjoying the story.